Reeves Immigration Law Group now brings you Immigration Law on Your Side.
Magandang gabi po mga kababayan. Ito na naman po ang isang edisyon ng ating Immigration Law on Your Side. Hatid po sa atin ang ating mga kaibigan from Reeves Immigration Law Group. Meron po sila mga kababayan, opisina dyan sa may LA area, sa may San Francisco, sa Philippines and China. 1-800-795-8009 ang kanilang hotline para po matawagan nyo sila. At ngayong hapon, ngayong gabi, ay pag-usapan natin at the top of the program the updates sa ating immigration sa mga opisina. Ang iba po ay iba pang dito sa Las Vegas, sa mga casinos ay karamihan ay bukas na. Tingnan natin kung ano ang new normal sa ating immigration offices. Pero kumustahin muna natin ang ating kaibigan mula po sa Bay Area. Nandito ang ating kaibigan si Attorney Flomi Javier Diza ng Reeves Immigration Law Group. Magandang gabi po sa iyo, Attorney Diza.
Good evening, Johan, and to all our viewers and listeners. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat at patuloy po kaming naglilingkod bayan para i-update kayo kung ano ang nangyayari sa ating US immigration.
Mm-hmm. And maganda yung ating nakita sa inyong post, attorney, na mukhang dahan-dahan na ang inyong opisina ay bumabalik na rin, pero there's a new normal. Makwento niyo po, attorney, sa ating mga clients at sa ating mga viewers kung paano po kayo marireach ngayong time na ganito.
Yes, patuloy po tayong nagtatrabaho at mula nung karoon tayo ng shelter in place, marami po sa atin ang working from home, and definitely hindi po natin pinapabayaan yung mga cases. The same thing sa immigration nagkaroon din po sila ng closure ng in-person interviews and oath-taking para sa mga citizenship. Pero patuloy silang tumatanggap ng mga applications. Recently lang noong June 4, ang USCIS, unahin muna natin pala sa opisina namin. So nagkaroon din po kami ng gradual reopening like most offices do. We want to be a solution, part of the solution para mahinto itong pandemic at iwasan po natin ang yung masyadong gatherings. So hindi po pa kami tumatanggap ng in-person consultation, and even yung mga conferences with existing clients, hindi po namin sila we don't allow them to come to the office yet. So itong mga ganitong paraan kaya ng ginagawa natin, Kuya Yo, yung Zooming or Skyping and sa Messenger, yun po ang even telephones, yun po ang paraan para mag-communicate sa inyo at i-prepare kayo sa inyong mga cases. So far sa office namin, 40 to 50% pa lang pumapasok, and of course marami ting mga protocols na ginagawa kagaya ng pag-test ng temperature bago pumasok, and we always wear our mask even common areas, right, while working in the office, kasi hindi mo rin kailangan din natin pumasok sa opisina dahil nandoon yung mga files, nandoon yung mga malaking printer para mag-print ng mga cases po ninyo at mga applications. So dito sa Bay Area and most states require din ang mask. Mask is a must, di ba, para mahinto itong pandemic. Tungkol naman sa immigration, USCIS, as I said, nag-umpisa na silang magbukas noong June 4. So ibig sabihin yung mga in-person consultation tumatanggap na sila. In fact, nung Lunes, kahapon, meron akong 2 cases na sinamahan sa USCIS at sa San Francisco, at matagal pong hinintay ng kliyente itong kanyang citizenship. It's about 2 years, and we're about to sue them before this pandemic. Kaya lang syempre may closure, so hindi mo rin sila pwedeng persahin na magkaroon ng interview. So far, okay naman ang practice ng social distancing sa USCIS. In fact, may mga questions sila bago kayo pumasok sa building. Tatanungin kung mayroong kang nararamdaman na sakit, kung kayo ba inuubo o nagkaroon ka ng lagnat o nag-travel ka for the last 14 days, meron bang order sa iyo ang doktor na mag-self-quarantine, stuff like that. So you have to answer that yes or no. And then, hindi kagaya noon na mahaba ng pila, di ba? Pero ngayon, there are only few applicants and their representatives and attorneys lining up, and also sa mga elevators, 1-2 lang din ang capacity. Pagpasok sa lobby, used to be like siguro it can accommodate around 150 people. Parang wala pang 25 yung nakita ko at that time in the morning. So talagang pinapractice nila yung protocol, no, to avoid yung spread ng disease. Ang kinaganda pa nito, everywhere makikita mo yung mga hand sanitizers, and of course yung mga upuan, sa lobby na mahabang, maluwag na lobby, nakalagay do not sit. So, makikita mo yung distance masyadong malayo sa bawat isa. So, they're actually, hoping na hindi mag-spread ang virus. And then once we were called at the interview ng officer, mayroong plexiglass, yung officer. So separating the officer to the applicant and to the attorney. Siyempre wala lang separation yung abogado at saka applicant. Kaya lang medyo pwede naman sila magkalayo, di ba? So para na i-represent ng gusto ang aplikante. And the good thing about USCIS too is that they are allowing people or your attorneys to represent by telephone. So as long as you provide your client your notice of representation, yung tinatawag nating G28, with your telephone number and of course yung information nyo para pag once na tinawagan kayo ng USCIS, you can represent your client by telephone. So yun yung sa immigration, and they continue to call in-person interviews na, no? So ito yung citizenship. And the good thing about dito, Kuya Yo, is that yung client ko na pumasa ng kanyang citizenship, he was told to wait para kunin yung oath notice kaagad. And oath-taking ceremony ng kanyang citizenship would be conducted the same day. Pinagkita lang yata siya ng 2 oras. When one of my clients finished at 11 o'clock, he was asked to wait for the notice, na oath-taking notice, and is required to come back at 1 o'clock oath ceremony. So yun ang kinaganda noon, na the same day para maiwasan yung pagdami ng mga tao converting. Kasi dati, Kuya Yo, especially in major cities like Las Vegas and San Francisco, Los Angeles, diba, they do conduct oath-taking like in a big
yes.
Oo, di ba, mga thousands yan, di ba? If you recall sa mga kababayan natin, pag tinawag yung per nationality, palakpakan ng mga tao. So, yeah, so ang Pilipinas, number 1, number 2, number 3 yan sa pinakamadami, sumusunod yan sa China or India or Mexico. So marami. So yung ganun. Pero ngayon wala na yung mga ceremonies na yan, waving of the flags, yung mga speakers, and stuff like that. So iniwasan na nila. So that's how the USCIS, gradually reopens. Pero yung mga ibang application kagaya ng marriage-based or family-based, wala pang mga interviews. But hopefully, parating din yan pag nag-normalize na po tayo. So we are doing a step at a time.
Kaya mga kababayan, abangan lamang po ang mga updates dito sa immigration law on your side. If you're watching us on demand on our Amazon Fire TV channel, on YouTube, or maybe even on Facebook, and our podcasts, ito po ay aming broadcast ngayong July 8th. So itong information po ito is current as of July 8th of 2020, Wednesday po mga kaibigan, sa immigration law on your side. Yung ating international offices, attorney, yung mga embassy natin.
Yes, before we go to the embassy, Kuya, yung mga immigration courts din, most courts ngayon, may mga deportation and removal defense. July, next time nila ulit. So hindi pa sila nagre-reopen, July 24. So parang mga airlines lang mga din yan, nasasabihin, okay, pwede ka na ngayong araw na to, pero ipapostpone ka na naman nila, so it started like June 15, June 28, and then July 5th after July 4th, and then July 10 ngayon hanggang July 24. So which is good sa mga, as I said, sa mga clients na medyo mahina ang kaso, at least tumatagal, lalo nagkakaroon ng good relief. Pero yung mga gusto na magka-green card at wala namang other issues sa kanila kundi nasa removal proceedings, well, it's a disadvantage. Pero that's the reality. As we said, this is the new normal na kailangan nating maghintay kasi this is nobody's fault. I mean, it's a pandemic's fault. I have a client na supposedly meron siyang individual, we call individual hearing, yung final hearing sana, noong ngayong July 10th yata, na-move na naman ng 24. And alam mo, we already received the notice that says ang next hearing niya is 2023.
23.
So that's correct, and he's been proceeding for the last 3 to 5 years. So that's going to be additional 3 years, and he has a very good case. And he was asking me, to do a miracle to schedule the interview or the hearing right away. And I said, okay, we'll try to see if they're going to advance the case. Because there are also situations where immigration judges will allow, filing a motion to advance in case one of the parties are ailing, or old, and we need to get their testimony before something happens to them, stuff like that. So sa mga kababayan natin nasa removal proceedings, check in with your attorneys because most immigration courts are still closed until July 24. Now, doon sa tanong mo, Kuya, regarding international offices or embassies, most are still closed. So then yung mga immigrant visa applications natin, kagaya ng even renewing your tourist visa or your H1Bs and visa processing interviews, wala pa rin, right? So even with the suspension ng immigration ng ating Pangulong President Trump, the embassies are still closed. So we're not cannot do anything once the submission of all documents were already completed. Hindi mo pa rin tayo makapag-request ng interview because essentially, number one, embassy are still closed, and number two, there is the suspension of the entry of immigrants into the U.S.
Alright, so napakinggan yung mga kaibigan ng mga updates hinggil po sa mga offices ng ating immigration here in the US and around the world as well from Attorney Flomi Javier Diza of Reeves Immigration Law Group. And of course, patuloy po tayong magbibigay ng information sa inyo dito sa radio program natin and also on the social media pages of Reeves Immigration Law Group, or puntahan lamang po ang website ng Reeves Immigration Law Group sa rreeves.com. Again, that's www.rreeves.com. So katulad nga po mga kaibigan ng nasabi ni Attorney Diza a few episodes ago, or I think that was last episode, ang immigration ay exciting. Kaya exciting talaga ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon. We'll have information regarding mga petitions and ano ang mga opisinang nagtatrabaho nito. Sa kabila nitong pandemyang ito mga kaibigan, ay patuloy pa rin ang immigration world. So mga kaibigan, patuloy po kayo nakikinig sa Reeves Immigration Law Group's Immigration Law on Your Side. Pagbalik po natin after this short break, we'll remind you about the offices of Reeves Immigration Law Group in our commercial break. But pagbalik po natin, alamin po natin itong, once your petition is approved and then you're just waiting for your priority date, or if it's already current, where does that petition go? Sino ang nagtatrabaho niyan? Sasagutin po yan ni Attorney Flomi Javier Diza sa pagbabalik po ng Immigration Law on Your Side right here on PHLV Radio. Diyan na po kayo.
Reeves Immigration Law Group has been representing immigrants for nearly 40 years. Reeves Immigration Law Group has been fighting for its clients through experience and expertise. With immigration lawyers you can access at reasonable fees, even on Saturday. Payment plans are also available. Call us for your immigration solutions. We can do worldwide telephone and Skype consultations. Reeves Immigration Law Group, 1-800-795-80 San Francisco, China, and Philippines. See us at www.rreeves.com. Reeves Immigration Law Group, 1-800-795-8009.
Mga kaibigan, welcome back to Immigration Law on Your Side, brought to you by Reeves Immigration Law Group right here on PHLV Radio. We are here every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Time, or Las Vegas time, or San Francisco time. Nandun po si Attorney Diza sa Bay Area. Attorney, we were talking about petitions and the immigrant petitions and the visas in the backdrop of the suspension of immigration and and the pandemic as well. Marami sa ating mga kababayan ang they're wondering about the process. Ngayong medyo sabihin nating medyo naka-break or naka-pause ang ilang systems. They'd like to find out how this goes. Say, for example, attorney, your petition has been approved already. Immigrant petition has been approved already, and you're just waiting for your priority date to become current, or if it's current already. What is take us through the process as to how this goes and which particular office in the immigration system handles this?
Yes, and again, we would like to remind you mga viewers and listeners natin that if you have someone to petition, at hindi po nyo ginagawa yan, thinking na sarado ang opisina ng USCIS, that's a misconception, right? Mm-hmm. So, pwede pang mag-file. In fact, they're accepting applications. Never na nasuspend ang acceptance ng applications ng immigrant visa. If you have children, parents, even adult children, and siblings, andyan pa mga yan. So once you file that, merong processing time, right? You file it with the USCIS, ang United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, under po ito ng Department of Homeland Security. So once po na merong processing time, so if you are filing for your immediate family, kagaya ng spouse and you're a US citizen, or you are filing for a minor child and you're a citizen, mabilis lang yan kasi asawa yan at we call it immediate family. Immediate relative, usually 6 months yan. So once it's approved, it goes to National Visa Center for processing, tuloy-tuloy yung pag-process. Pero kung ang pinipetition po natin ay mga adult children na, and as we know, it takes about 10 to 12 years, no? Or sa mga married children, mga 20 years yan. So even if yung processing time na na-approve siya in 2 years time, hindi ibig sabihin darating na yung family member mo. You still have to wait for the priority date to become available. But once it is approved by the USCIS, mawawala na sa kanilang jurisdiction yun. Itatransfer na nila to the National Visa Center for storage. Doon nila i-store yun at magkakaroon ng parang come up sa NVC kung kailan magiging current yan. So once it becomes current and available, doon nila ngayon i-notify yung attorney of record or yung tinatawag nating yung petitioner or even the beneficiary that the case is already current and it's ready for processing. So ganun yung unang step. So we have to wait for the approval. So yung mga kababayan din natin na nag-file ng petition and they do it themselves. Sometimes they thought na, okay, 20 years naman yan or 10 years naman yan, and they slept on it, right? Not knowing na usually yung approval niyan should come in earlier, mga 1 to 2 years. So, paalala sa ating mga petitioners na if you filed something sa mga kamag-anak po ninyo, i-track din ninyo kung ano ng status. Tignan nyo may processing time naman sa USCIS. Sinasabi na ito sa adult children yan, mga 2 years yan. Diba? Sa mga sibling, mga 4 years yan. So, makikita po ninyo yan. Hindi tipong, 12 years yan, pabayaan mo na. So, the reminder is of course very important because you thought na meron kayong petition na nakapending at naghihintay, yung pala na-deny na because number one, if you move address, right, at hindi mo in-inform yung USCIS about that new address, and if they sent, a notice telling you of the deficiency of your application, para i-comply sana, yung tinatawag natin request for evidence, and you failed to comply with that request, i-deny nila yung petition. I have many clients who experience or who had that experience where they thought na 10 years na lumipas at darating yung anak ko, nasaan yung petition mo? Meron silang resibo, but then when you check online, yung pala denied na because
matagal lang na deny.
Oo, na-abandon na pala. So something to keep in mind sa mga kababayan natin.
Mm-hmm. Well, you mentioned briefly about the address change. That's one of the things that na nakita ko din sa mga comments sa mga isang program natin na nagtatanong sila. When you have an ongoing petition and then you move, you have to notify the USCIS. I believe there's a certain form for that, attorney, right?
Yes, it's you can do it online. It's called AR11, right? And you can either do it online or mail it out. Specifically, mentioning the current petition, right? Kasi pwede rin, kung ikaw green card holder, you are also required to, to report your new address. And more so, kung meron kang pending application, you have to inform the USCIS or the government agency where your case is currently pending.
So, attorney, it's on the NVC already yung petition mo at doon naka-parking, kumbaga, doon naghihintay.
Yes.
So, sila ang magno-notify sa inyo.
Yung what do you mean? Yung kliyente ang magno-notify kung mayroon silang lawyer, then we notify the NVC that we are the attorney of records and that this petitioner has this new address. But if they don't have an attorney, the applicant and the beneficiary should notify the NVC or where the current application is. Kung sa
Isa din sa Opo, attorney. Isa din po sa mga tinatanong nila, will there be additional fees once it moves in the process, or what you paid for at the start, that's going to be it already?
Yeah, that's no fees for reporting the change of address.
Uh-huh.
So,
And other things. While it's at the NVC waiting, wala na, no other fees. It's just the first time when you filed for it, ano?
when you file a petition, there's a filing fee of 535. You call it the immigrant visa petition. But once it becomes current na, nasa NVC stage na tayo, then there are fees, corresponding fees that the applicants or the beneficiary has to pay. So pag nasa NVC na yung case, right, and as I said, once the priority becomes available, notify na, yung tawag nito, yung petitioner, yung beneficiary, and to take these steps, at sasabihin na ito na ang gagawin mo. So meron silang step process sa national visa centers. That's why I tell my clients na even if this are immediately available ang visa, right, and you file it today, bukas darating yung asawa mo o ma-interview, hindi, because there's that processing time to approve the petition, right, about 6 months, and then there's another processing time at the National Visa Center, which is yung ating pag-uusapan ngayon kung ano yung nangyayari doon, di ba? So pupunta na sa NVC, ano mangyayari, bakit ang tagal pa dyan? Because there are step by step process. Hindi pwedeng you do it one time, right? Hindi kagaya yung mga nandito sa US na you marry someone else or your priority is current, you file all the applications at the same time. When you are in the US, when you adjust status, you're filing for your green card, your work authorization, your advance parole, the affidavit support, the filing fees, you prepare the whole packet at one time. But this is a different scenario when the beneficiary is outside the US. So then it goes to the first, it goes to the USCIS and was approved to the NVC for another 6 months, and then you have to wait until you go to the interview.
Now, when it becomes available at the NVC, it's not automatic na okay, ayan na yung visa mo. You still have to file. Is this the DS-260, attorney?
Yes.
What is this DS-260?
Yes, there are many steps dun sa NVC. Papabayaran ka muna din ng affidavit support. So tatap ka na ng NVC na okay, current na yan. Then you have to choose, let's say kung mga petitioner lang gumawa niyan, tatanungin ka kung mayroon ka bang agent. Yung agent mo either yung kamag-anak mong may knowledge sa immigration, di ba? Or dumaan sa proseso ng immigration, may alam din, or probably yung attorney or the principal or the petitioner na siya yung agent mo, siya yung taga-receive ng mga communications and correspondence from the NVC. So once you have that, then you have also to pay yung affidavit support 125, and then you have to pay the 325, and then dun na yung DS-260, Kuya Yo, where it is the electronic application, immigrant visa application. In fact, there's also is controversy, I think last year or 2 years ago, where they also asked many personal questions on that form, no, aside from the addresses for the last 5 years. They also ask yung mga employment mo for the last 5 years, and also yung mga social media accounts mo. So if you have like 5 social media accounts, I always tell my client, tell everything that you have. I mean, kahit sabihin mo alias pa ginagamit mo, kahit sabihin mo pang completely different pangalan mo, I say, no, you have to tell us, and you have to be truthful about it, because the U.S. government has a way to find out. They always have that backdoor to find out, as long as you're not doing illegal things on that account. I think you have to divulge all your social media account, your telephone numbers, your email accounts. So lahat yan ngayon tinatanong, Kuya Yo. And in fact, it kind of a lot of immigration advocates think that this is kind of more personal and invasion of privacy, but it is implemented and it's being asked.
So you guys, you better be careful, including your new TikTok account.
I know.
You better make sure. So, attorney, aside from the social media accounts or any other things that will be required, are there other documents that you need to send to the NVC? Are there any civil documents that you need to collate and bring to them or send?
Very important din yung affidavit support. And we talked about the public charge, right? The last time
Right.
here, where the president just signed another proclamation where it requires all the beneficiaries or intending immigrants to prove that they won't be a public charge. And in the past, ang requirements lang dito is for the petitioner to have a sufficient income that beats the public guidelines, no? So, but also it's a requirement once you're petitioning a family member, it is a requirement, sa petitioner to file an affidavit support. Now, kung hindi enough yung income nung petitioner because either na-lay off sa trabaho because of the pandemic or because retired na siya, hindi na siya required mag-file ng income tax, kailangan natin ng joint sponsor. Joint sponsor can be any US citizen or local permanent residents who are willing to provide their financial documents, and then also in support of the affidavit support, kailangan po nilang i-provide yung kanilang taxes, it's a transcript of taxes filed during the last 3 years. That also shows yung W-2s nila and also a certificate of employment or employment verification letter and also paychecks. So lahat yan in-screen or sinasubmit yan together with the biographic information as we mentioned, and also the civil documents on top of the affidavit support.
When you say civil documents, these are the marriage certificates, yung mga ganyan.
Yes, to show relationship, of course, yung marriage certificate, birth certificate, and they also ask the police report or from the Philippines yung NBI clearance, and for all other places that the applicants leave when he was already 14 years old and they have leave overseas for 6 months, kailangan nilang i-provide yung police report or police certificate of that place where they live.
But we know that the application takes may process, attorney. Pero kung inyong ang petition nyo ay kailangan ma-expedite for some reason that needs attention na dapat ay maibigay na kaagad, is there a way na maging expedited yung process nito?
Yes, pwede yan, Kuya Yo. In fact, kasi current na, di ba, yung application. And we have done many cases in that situation where the petitioner has serious medical condition, halimbawa nasa ICU or na aksidente or karoon lang ng sakit na baka anytime going na, but you need to inform your agent or your attorney saying that this case should be expedited, right? Because of this situation. So yun yung mga scenario where you can request for expeditious process, Kuya Yo, dahil either yung petitioner is sick, or has serious medical condition, or posible rin ipa-expedite dito kung yung isa sa mga beneficiary is aging out, di ba? Ibig sabihin na 21 na yan at kailangan ng makakuha ng visa, di ba, bago mag-21 because there are certain situations where the child needs to be in the US bago mag-21.
Bago mag-21. Ayan. Isa sa mga situation, mga kaibigan, where you can request that your petition be processed na mas mabilis. So, pagkagaling po, attorney, sa NVC, once you've submitted all this packet and everything that you need to send to them, and what is the next? What do we expect next? Ano ba? Mag-i-interview na? Interview petition? I mean, a notice to interview?
Paalala lang sa mga kababayan natin, processing at the National Visa Center is becoming more difficult, dahil hindi most of the time na kailangan i-download yung mga documents, civil documents, pay online din, hindi ka pwede mag-submit may mga sitwasyon na pwede ka mag-submit pa rin, but most of the time, they require you to go to the NVC portal. Meron silang portal din sa website. May website sila where you should download the documents, right? And sometimes it's frustrating dahil even if you're using a high, very high resolution na computer or very fast internet, minsan nagka-crash ang website ng NVC. So most of my stuff, try it again and minsan nagka-crash, it's really very difficult now, to process, and hopefully as time pass by, ma-resolve yung issue niya. So, having said that, once you are what do you call, sign in to your account dun sa National Visa Center, titignan din ninyo kasi mahirap kuya yon na you thought na download mo na lahat, completed na lahat yan, makikita mo accepted na yung documents mo, di ba? Nakalagay accepted. But if you don't go back to the portal or sign into your account, after a month or 2 months, makikita mo doon na mayroon kang incomplete, right? Or rejected because hindi maganda yung lalo na sa atin, di ba? Minsan yung mga birth certificates unreadable na. Sasabihin nila, that's the best that a client can provide. Pero NVC will not accept it. So titignan ninyo yun kasi akala mo naghintay ka na ng interview. Yung pala may mga rejected documents po kayo. So you have to go back to that. Now, once everything goes well, then you have to wait for the interview. The NVC will forward your records to the post. Sinasabi ng post kung saan po kayo may interview. So if you are in the Philippines, or if you are in UK, you are lawful permanent resident in other countries, doon nila padadala yung interview appointment. So once you have that appointment, then you're ready for the interview.
So, what do we need to do to prepare for the interview, attorney?
Yeah, very good questions yan. Alam ko wala pa tayong mag-interview ngayon, but as we mentioned, ituloy lang po ninyo ang process. Mabuti yung nasa end of the line na po kayo, right? Kesa naman maraming kliyente na merong thinking na suspended naman ang immigration attorney, wag ko munang i-process, I said no, we have to move forward kasi unahan yan by you're racing to the finish line. So once you're in the finish line, ang hinintay mo na lang yung interview. And having said that, once you have that interview, of course, sa mga kliyente natin sa Pilipinas, minsan kinakabahan sila, but with the proper guidance ng immigration attorney, of course, kung anong gagawin. But very basic lang din po naman. Of course, number one, wag po kayong kabahan. I think preparation is the key, right? So before the interview, may mga instructions packet naman po kayong babasahin. Hopefully, babasahin nyo yan or bubuksan nyo ang inyong NVC portal or yung email. Sasabihin, mag-conduct po kayo ng medical exam. So you go to your medical examination. Wala pong appointment yan. So kayo po mag-set up appointment sa St. Luke's. Dadalhin nyo yung notice sa embassy. Notice from the embassy on your appointment saying that I already have an appointment. Go to the medical exam, right? Marami sa ating kababayan din. Maraming bubabagsak sa medical exam because they ask many questions about your past and your medical records, medical history, and what ano mga pinaggagawa po ninyo nung kayo kabataan ninyo, stuff like that, psychological evaluation kasama diyan. So once that is completed, bibigyan po kayo ng sealed medical report where you have to bring that to the embassy together with the original documents because even if you submitted those civil documents at the National Visa Center, ito po downloaded lang po silang documents or hindi po original. So, lahat ng original, lahat ng civil documents na original, dadalhin po ninyo. Like the certificate, marriage, and DI, lahat ng mga updated financial documents and petitioner, dalhin din po yan together with the medical exam. And also, you have to look at the instructions. May mga instructions, Kuya Yoyaan, kung saan mo ipikapin yung visa mo, di ba? Yung tinatawag to-go centers sila, meron dyan, o kung anong address ang gagamitin, kung ano yung instructions sa US Embassy. Because even if we, as attorneys, alam natin yung mga sinasabi natin ngayon, nagbabago yan over time. So it's very important for the attorney and of course for the applicants to look at the US Embassy's website, kung ano yung mga instructions nila when you go there. Kasi mga requirements kagaya nung unang panahon, bawal ang cellphone, di ba? Don't arrive 30 minutes before time. Alam naman natin mga Pilipino minsan, madaling araw pa lang nandun na sila sa labas. Because they try to avoid the long line. That's understandable. But of course, even if you're very early, hindi naman kayo papapasukin, not until maybe 30 minutes before your scheduled interview. Right? So, That's when you go to the interview. The interview, Kuya Yo, is like mga 5-10 minutes lang din eh. So mas mahaba pa yung usapan natin ngayon. Right? But it's more of documentation since the NVC already collected, the civil documents and everything, and what the applicant, do is just to present all the original documents. Itong nag-a-apply yung taong yon kasi marami ring mga nakakalusot na they use someone else's visa, and they come here. Oh, I'm not this person, but yeah, they want to make sure that the fingerprints are taken and photographs are taken. Make sure that the applicants are the applicants on the application forms.
And obviously, after the interview, there are only two things, mga kababayan, whether they approve it or they deny it. So, attorney, what happens immediately after the interview? Ba nalalaman mo kaagad na, approve ako?
Yes, Kuya, it's dalawang bagay yan. If, as you said, it's either reject or deny ka or approve ka. Now, if you're going to get approved, it's a good sign if the officer says, congratulations, I'm going to do that. I mean, that's an express approval, right? Or they just take your passport. Kasi getting the passport, taking your passport is a good sign, na approve ka. Of course, but as I said, even if there's an express affirmation or express words from the officer na you're approved, hindi pa po kayo pwede magpa-party o magpa-discount.
Benta na yung mga bahay.
Magbenta ng mga bahay o mag-quit sa trabaho, until you have that visa, right? Kasi there might many things that might happen in between, right? At makita sila ng supervisor, meron ka pala nito. Meron ka palang application 10 years ago na sinabi mong ganito, meron kang gasoline station, ngayon wala pala, stuff like that. So you need to be very careful then about your plans. But once you get the visa, it's valid for 6 months. You can live within that time frame, but it could be earlier, lalo na yung mga out, diba? So earlier, so make sure that you have to also ano yung validity visa. So once you got approved, then that's the only time that you can plan your trips and your life.
And despedida party na.
Pwede na magpa-distribute ng party at mag-bet ka ng mga business and mga property.
Attorney, you mentioned 6 months validity, and there's been a lot of confusion. Even some of our friends and some of our listeners, they were telling us about the 6 months. Na-confuse sila doon sa kanilang non-immigrant visa. For example, nabigyan sila ng tourist visa. And they were asking us before, ano ba yung dapat ba magamit ko within 6 months? Itong sinasabi natin yun, attorney, this is the immigrant visa na dapat within 6 months ay makaalis kayo at makabiyahe. Ano po, attorney?
That's correct. Once they enter the US, they are considered a local permanent resident. Usually yan ang ibibigay pala yan, Kuya Yo, before they travel to the US, meron pang last step na gagawin nila. Of course, they have to pay yung green card. So they have to, again, check in on the system and pay for the immigrant visa. It's 225 para once they enter the US, mag-trigger yung order ng kanilang visa. And also for people who are coming here, kailangan pa rin nilang mag-dos, yung tawag na pre-departure orientation seminar. Kailangan sa passport nila so that they will be accepted sa flight nila coming to the United.
So they pay for the green card, but the actual card, they're going to receive that dito na sa US.
Yes, after they arrive in the US. So hindi hindi na matatanggap yan not until they arrive. So pag arrive nila dito kasi mag-update yung computer ng USCIS, doon i-order yung kanilang green card that arrives about 2 to 6 weeks from entry in the US.
Okay. So the document that they're going to use for them to enter the States is yung visa na itinatak sa kanilang passport. Okay. Wonderful. So, welcome to America. Nandito na po si nanay, nandito na si tatay. It's a wonderful thing to talk about, especially at this time of the pandemic and even with the news of some of the immigrant visas being suspended na hindi makakapasok ngayon. But it's good to know the process para sa ating mga kababayan. Pero attorney, napag-usapan na rin natin ito. Backtrack tayo a little bit dun sa balita balita natin na last episode. So kung itong mga ito ay meron na silang visa and everything, these are the immigrants na papasok dito sa US. Are they the ones that are affected by the recent suspension of entry dito sa US?
Yeah, yes, Kuya, except when the petitioner is the U.S. citizen spouse, right? So the petitioner is a U.S. citizen parent, so they are bringing minor children in the U.S. Sila lang yung exempted. So any other petitioner, any other visa from employment to family-based, they are subject to the proclamation on the suspension of immigrant visa. That's why paalalahanan natin yung mga kababayan natin, Kuya Yo, because I always ask my clients, ano ba ang trabaho ng beneficiary? Because if you remember, one of the exceptions that we discussed was when the beneficiary is in the medical field, di ba? So either medical doctor or maybe registered nurse, physical therapist, or medical technologist, or even maybe caregiver. So titignan natin kung magpipili sila doon sa exemption.
Okay. All right. So mga kababayan, I hope that cleared that up. Marami sa inyo mga nagtanong regarding that. Sabi nila, Kuya Yo, paano naman ito? Approved na nga pero hindi makakapasok. Well, those are the ones. You can go back to our previous episode, mga kaibigan, where we extensively talked about that, and there are exemptions as well. And naturally, if there will be new developments on this presidential proclamation, definitely you will hear that from us here sa Immigration Law on your side. So, attorney, maganda itong ating napag-usapan ngayon. This is a very valuable information para sa ating mga kababayan. And as you said, hindi naman tumigil ang pagtanggap ng application. So, mga kababayan, if you have plans to, petition your parents or, your family members or something, the petition application, the application in itself is ongoing. Ayan. So, attorney, meron pa po ba kayong ibang gustong ipaabot sa ating mga listeners before po tayo magtapos ngayon?
Well, Kuya Yo, I would like to tell the listeners natin that free consultation po kami sa Reeves Immigration Law Group. As of now, you can set a Zoom consultation or conference with us or even telephone. At this time, we do offer free consultation and we continue to process your applications. And also, Kuya Yo, I would like to take this opportunity to thank my family, especially my wife, my children, my parents, my brothers and sisters. Who else? My partners at Reeves Immigration Law Group, and my clients and my staff, my fraternal brothers, Tau Kappa Phi, the IBP California, the American Immigration Lawyers Association. Actually, it's another milestone of my life today, July 8th. It's my 50th birthday. And I know I wish that we could party and celebrate, but my prayers for everyone is, of course, matapos na itong pandemic at balik tayo sa normal. But as of now, in as much as we really wanted to go out and party and celebrate, and this is another milestone, as we said, right? There are many plans that were canceled, but we have to make some sacrifices. As we mentioned, we should be part of the solution, and hoping that each and every one of us, PHLD Radio, and all our listeners and viewers, for everyone to be safe and to be healthy. Maraming salamat, magandang gabi, and thank you all for your greetings, your support, your well wishes, your love. Marami pong salamat, and magandang gabi sa inyo lahat.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Golden Boy, ang ating attorney Flomi Javier Diza. Happy birthday po sa inyo mula po sa amin dito sa PHLV Radio. Naghihintay po ang barbecue dito sa Las Vegas pagka pwede na after the lockdown, itong pandemic na ito. Anyway, we'll be back with more episodes of Immigration Law on your side here sa PHLV Radio sa mga susunod pong mga Wednesdays dito sa PHLV. So, abangan lamang po yan. Every Wednesday po tayo, 7 p.m. Las Vegas time or San Francisco time, West Coast time, Pacific time, dito po sa PHLV Radio. Ito po si Kuya Yo, nanggagaling po sa PHLV Radio Studio sa Maryland Parkway sa Las Vegas. Until next time.
Reeves Immigration Law Group has been representing immigrants for nearly 40 years. Reeves Immigration Law Group has been fighting for its clients through experience and expertise. With immigration lawyers you can access at reasonable fees, even on Saturday. Payment plans are also available. Call us for your immigration solutions. We can do worldwide telephone and Skype consultations. Reeves Immigration Law Group, 1-800-795-8009. Reeves Immigration Law Group has offices in Los Angeles, San Francisco, China, and Philippines. See us at www.rreeves.com. Reeves Immigration Law Group, 1-800-795-8009.